Hello everyone, and welcome to the Create and Learn channel, where we make magic with technology. In today's episode, I'll be showing you how to use the website Scratch to code and design your own computer programs, and I'll also be showing you some tips and tricks to succeed. Let's get started. To start coding with Scratch, navigate to scratch.mit.edu and press Start Creating. When you first load in, you'll have a brand new project for you to work on, so I'm going to give you a tour around the program. To begin, we can get rid of the tutorial section. We'll talk about that in a little bit, so I'll just close that out. So the way that coding works in Scratch is that you use blocks to code. So you have all your blocks over here. There are quite a few of them, hundreds, but they're sorted into categories to make things a little easier for you. So you'll see that the blue section is called motion. So anything that has to do with moving your character or rotating, anything that has to do with movement will be in this blue section. Next, we have this purple section. It says looks. So anytime you're changing the way your character looks, maybe changing its costume or making it talk or anything like that, that will be in the look section. We also have sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks, which we'll get to in a little bit as well. So it takes some time to get used to the blocks, but it does help that they're sorted into different categories. As we move on, here in the center, this is where your code will go. So the way that coding works is you pick a block. So I'll go over here and I'll pick this block. I'll click it, I drag it over, and anything that's over here in the middle will run when you press the green flag. So I'll just make a really quick program. We'll say move 10 steps when green flag clicked, and we'll leave it at that. So now whenever I press my green flag, my character moves 10 steps, just a little bit. And if I press it again, a little bit more, again, a little bit more. So as you may have guessed, over here, this is called the stage, and this is where your program will run. So all of your code goes in the middle, and what you've created will run over on the right-hand side. Down here in the bottom, we can choose backdrops to change the background, and here we can choose sprites. So the sprite is your characters. So anytime you want to add a new character, you can go down here. Let's see what else we have. The costumes tab up here, you can change what your character looks like. We'll get into that in a little bit. And sound, if you have any sound in your program, that will be in this part. All right, so that's just a quick overview of the program. It takes some getting used to, but there are some tutorials that will help you. So now that we have an overview of the program and we're familiar with how it works, I'm going to get into 5 tips and tricks to help you succeed while you're using Scratch. Let's get into it. All right, tip number 1 is tutorials. So as I mentioned before, Scratch is a little bit complicated to learn. It takes a little bit of time, but there are a lot of helpful tutorials built in that can help you learn the program. So there are 2 different ways to access these tutorials. If you are on the home screen of Scratch and you haven't created a project yet, if you press Ideas, all the tutorials will load. And similarly, if you're already in your project and you press Tutorials up here, that same website or web page will load inside your project. So the way that tutorials work is they basically show you in the title what will happen when you follow the tutorial, and then they'll help you make it happen. So this tutorial, for example, use arrow keys. It will teach you how to move your character with arrow keys. So if we click on that, it's going to pop up right inside your project, and you can press the video and it will walk you through. And then you can click through, there are images, a lot of really helpful stuff. So if you, again, go to tutorials here, or if you're on the home page, press Ideas, and you pick a tutorial, and it will walk you through how to do all these really cool and helpful things. So if you're just getting started with Scratch, I would highly recommend these tutorials to help you get acquainted with the program. All right, tip number 2 is making an account. So once you have crafted your beautiful program, you're probably going to want to hold on to it and not lose it, right? So what you can do is you can make a Scratch account, and then you can keep your project forever. So once you've finished your project, there's a button up here that says Join Scratch. You'll click on that, create a username and a password, and you can make an account to save your project forever. So this is just a quick little tip to help you keep your projects after you have created them. All right, tip number 3 is the Scratch community. So Scratch makes it really easy for you to access and look at other projects that people have made so that you can see what other people are doing on Scratch and get some ideas for your own projects. So the way that you access this is you go to the Scratch website, scratch.mit.edu, and you press Explore right here. And all these projects that other people have made will load in, and you can sort them based on different categories, so art, games, etc. And you can also change over here some filters. So if you wanted to see the newest projects, I could change this to recent, and some of the most recent or newest projects will pop up. So I can look through, try to find a project that looks interesting to me. So we'll go with 3 paddle ball game. I'll click here. And we can see this is a project that another person made on Scratch. So they have some instructions. They say click the green flag and use your mouse to move the bottom paddle. All right, so if you press the green flag, you can play their game, which is pretty cool. And something else really cool you can do is you can actually see how they made this game. So if you press this button right here, see inside, these are all the blocks of code that they used to make this program. So you can see it's pretty complex. There are a good many blocks, but this is a good way for you to look at other people's programs and get some ideas, and you can see what they did to make the program. So that is tip number 3, the Scratch community. All right, tip number 4 is duplicating blocks and adding comments. So as you get more used to Scratch and you're doing some coding, you might find that you want to reuse the same set of blocks over and over. So I have some code here that when I press my green flag, my cat's going to bounce back and forth. But what if I want to make something else move back and forth forever when I press this green flag? Well, there are a couple things you can do to make your life a little more easy. So if I go to my Apple doesn't have any code yet. And what I could do, I could code it all over again. So I could go and drag this in, and all these blocks that I had here, I could do it all over again. But that would take a while, right? So one cool thing you can do is I can just click this, I can drag it over on top of my Apple, and when I let go, my original code is going to stay with my cat. But if you go to the Apple, now I have that same exact code here too. And now when I press my green flag, they're both going to be moving back and forth. So it saves you a little bit of time if you're trying to do the same exact thing. Another thing you can do is if you still want to use the same code with your cat, but maybe you're going to tweak it a little bit, if you right click and you press duplicate, that's going to make a new copy of your code, and you can just plop it down. And now if, for example, I wanted to do something else forever, I could take this out and I could swap something else in. So that can save you a little bit of time. Something else that's helpful as you're making more complicated programs are something called comments. So if, for example, here, let me get rid of this code. All right, so this code right here, it makes my cat move back and forth. So if I right click on it and I press add comment, I can say moves cat back and forth. And this is just a little reminder to myself so that now as my code gets more and more complicated and I'm adding more blocks all over, I can remember what this code does just in case I ever need to go back to it. And you can get rid of it with the X, or you can minimize it with the arrow. So if I comment like this and I press this, I can make it smaller. You can drag it around. But it is helpful just to have those comments to help you remember what the different parts of your code do. Because as your program gets bigger and bigger, you're going to have a lot going on, and it can be helpful just as a little reminder so that you know what each part of your program does. So that's tip number 4, duplicating code and adding comments. All right, tip number 5 is our last tip for this tutorial, and it has to do with customizations. So one of the coolest things about Scratch is the way you can customize your program to make it look however you want. So you can customize backgrounds, you can customize your sprites, you can customize sounds. So I'm just going to show you how to do all those different things. So we'll start with backgrounds. So if you go down here, we already know that if you click here and you pick a backdrop and you click it, it will load into your program, which is cool. But if you want to customize your backdrop and make it your own, instead of pressing here, you can press the paint button and you can make your own background. So say, for example, I wanted my cat to have a house. I'm on erase. Have a house. It's not going to be pretty because I'm not much of an artist, but I'm sure you could do a better job. But here we go. And now when I run my program, my cat has a little house in the background. And you can take your time with this, make it whatever you want, but you can make your own backdrops, which is really cool. Similarly, instead of having this cat made by the program, I could make my own sprite. So I mouse over here, I press the paint button, and I can make my own character. So I'll just make a smiley face for the sake of time. But if with the trick we learned before, I can drag this code, move it to this, and now my sprite has that same code. And if I get rid of the cat and I press this, now my program is running with my character that I created all by myself. So that's pretty cool. If you don't want to make your character entirely from scratch, you can press this. I'll take the bear, and if you, not that, if you go up here to costumes, you can customize the way this character looks. So if I wanted to give him a hat, I could draw on a little hat. Pretty ugly hat, but you get the idea. And now my character will have that hat. If I wanted to give him eyebrows, make him look a little angry, I can do that too. So these are other customizations you can do to sprites. One final way you can customize your program is with sounds. So Scratch does have a sound library where you can choose different sounds right here, but you can also record your own sounds. So if you wanted to make this bear talk with your voice, you can press this record button, record your voice, and customize your program that way. So it's really easy to make your program your own, express your artistic side with Scratch. So that is tip number 5, customizations. All right, so we have come to the end of today's lesson. I hope you learned a little bit about this fun program called Scratch that you can use to make computer programs, and I hope that these 5 tips and tricks will be helpful to you as you start learning to use Scratch. If you would like to learn more, consider taking a free class online with us at create-learn.us. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Thanks!